I think overall we've played most games we've played against Tampa, so we know them really well. They know us really well, and obviously same state, big rivalry between us, and every year is getting bigger and bigger. So it's good for hockey, good for state of Florida, and obviously exciting times. Like best time to be a hockey player is starting now. So we're really happy about this opportunity again to be in the playoffs and battle for something big again, and can't wait to get going again.
Berkey, now that the regular season's over, what have the last couple of months really felt like? I mean, guys, Matthew's been hurt. Guys have been in and out of the lineup. You missed a couple games. Clearly, the priority is rest and health over what seed you were and starting at home and all that stuff. Did it seem unusual to start almost like thinking ahead a little bit when there were still regular season games going on?
I can't really say that. Like, you never, of course, sometimes you think like when the playoffs are gonna start, but overall, I think any time of the year, you just want to stay in the moment. You just want to take one day at a time, and that's the best way to approach it. If you start thinking about too much what's gonna happen next month or in 2 months, then you're not doing your job on that day. So obviously we realized that, and then we start to take day at a time and think about one game at a time, and that was it. Like, we didn't really start to prepare for playoffs like 2 months ago or anything like that. We had big games whole season. We wanted to get as good as possible, play as good as possible, and getting ready for playoffs, but by playing game at a time as good as possible, and do those things that we want to do in the playoffs as well. So, I mean, of course, a little bit of both, like getting ready for playoffs, but at the same time, just doing our job on that day.
Paul has talked about, you guys know game one, how hard it's going to be, how that feels, and it sounds like that's kind of a flip the switch kind of thing. Do you guys feel like with the experience that you guys have had over the past couple of years, that when game one comes, it's going to be, your game's going to be right on, just that with the intensity of it all?
Of course, experience helps a lot. Every single year you gain a lot of experience. You learn a lot about different things, about playing in playoffs, about playing in regular season, and so yeah, for sure that will help. And obviously, when the game one comes, everyone's ready. There's no doubt about it. Like, all the teams are ready, and it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna game one usually is always like that. So everyone's gonna be ready. That's for sure.
Sasha, we know we're still waiting for his official status, but to know that Matthew was close to returning, possibly with you guys for game one, what does that do for the room, especially since you guys haven't had him in the lineup or on the ice or team settings, whatnot, since mid-February?
I mean, yeah, there's no one like him. No other Chucky, well, his brother, but no one exactly like him. The way he is as a teammate, the way he plays the game, the way he treats everyone in the room. Like, obviously we missed him a lot so far, but yeah, having him more and more involved in the locker room and with the team, and lately has obviously helped a lot. And when you see that he's there for you, he's close, so it's awesome, and we can't wait to see him back. And he's a special player and special man, so we're happy to have him.
Sasha, how does the attitude in the locker room now kind of compare to last year at this point? Because obviously last year you guys are all hungry. You had gotten to the Stanley Cup final, lost. This year, coming off a win, just is the attitude the same? Is it different? How do things kind of compare?
I would say same. Like, we take everything day at a time, and we can't wait to get it started next week again, or whenever we start. And so yeah, it's same. Like, we're working really hard now, a few days, and get ready to play again. I wouldn't say there's much difference than from last year.
I mean, as often as you guys have seen Tampa, they have a bit of a different look without Steven Stamkos. I mean, is there a bit more of a challenge with how different they look? And I mean, especially losing a guy like that and replacing him with a guy like Jake Ensel?
I mean, we know they're amazing team there. They've played really well for a long time. They have amazing players there, so it doesn't change the fact that they are and they've been one of the best teams in the league for a long time. So the challenge is, that's the hard challenge for sure. Whoever plays for them, and so yeah, obviously Stamkos was there for a long time, and everyone knows how good of a player he is, and a little different look, but same Tampa Bay Lightning, our state rival, and it's going to be fun and hard games for sure.
Barkey coach was very intentional about getting you some games off down the final stretch. Make sure you feel 100% fresh, 100% healthy and rested. You know, how are you feeling, and how significant maybe were those nights to just be in the best place possible for starting the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean that was the case. So we had a lot of guys resting those games, and some guys rested this game. Next line rested that game. So it's good. Like, we'll take the rest and be ready for playoffs. And I know it was a little different to watch the game from TV, but still being around the team and as much as possible, it was nice. So now we can only concentrate on playoffs, and thankfully we're in this situation right now.
Barkey, you played a long time before that ultimate moment of the commissioner calling you over and handing you the cup, and then you getting the honor of being the first one to hoist it, especially at home. Do you think back to that moment a lot, or is it better just in the rear view and thinking, do you use that to inspire, or do you just think ahead about what you have to do over these next 2 months to have that opportunity potentially again?
Yeah, I mean, of course, that will never leave my mind. That moment and everything leading up to that moment, I will never forget anything of that. So, but at the same time, I think we've done a really good job this year by kind of turning the page and just thinking about the day that you're in right now. Like, I'm thinking about this day, and then thinking tomorrow I'll think about the practice and that kind of stuff, like preparing yourself for the game one. And like I said, we've done a good job with that, and just keep doing that. So maybe after career, when I have a little more time to think about what actually happened in my career, that will probably be the most important thing I think about.
Sasha, you mentioned that this is the best time to be a hockey player, best time to be playing. This rivalry we've seen against Tampa during the regular season, what it is. We've seen it in the playoffs before. Just how intense do you think this time will be?
Probably very intense, just like every single game against them, and playoffs overall, they're always intense. So, and yeah, playoffs intense. So against anyone, but obviously Tampa, we know them really well. We've played a lot against them. They know us really well. So I don't think there's many secrets between us, and it's gonna be hard matchup for sure.
Yeah, it feels amazing. You know, we had a long season, and we're happy to be back here. You know, it takes a lot of work to get into the playoffs, and I think we did a good job.
Gus, this is obviously a team that is built around defense, prioritizes defense, and that's very clear. The fact that you guys have Bob behind you, just what does that mean to the group, to your group, in that, you know, if you do your job, more than likely Bob's going to do his, then things are probably going to turn out okay? Yeah,
I mean, Bobby, you know, he brings a lot of confidence into our group, and he's calm back there, and I think it just spreads to the whole team. We want to make sure he sees the puck, and that's our job as a defenseman. Just let him see the puck, and he's going to save the puck.
You guys have talked all year that, last year doesn't matter. This is a new year, and what we did last year doesn't matter. But going into these playoffs, you guys do, right, tap into that experience a little bit of what you went through in certain situations. Do you feel like you guys have just about experienced everything as a group together?
I think every year is a new year. You're going into the playoffs, you start from zero. So, we got some confidence. So we've been here, playing Tampa. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're just excited to get started here.
Gus, the way that Paul sort of maneuvered these last couple months, making sure that the guys who have been here, been through the long playoff runs the last couple years, got some rest before going into the postseason. How beneficial do you hope that will be for the guys who, again, I think you guys are close to 300 games going into that over these last 3 years?
I mean, you want to take advantage of the rest days you get and do some rehab and stuff to recover your body. And I think everyone's really good at it in this team, and we really take care of our bodies, and we really focus on that when we can. So, in the playoffs, that's all. You want to be fresh for the games, and it's going to be a tight schedule coming up. So it's been great to getting a couple days here.
Kind of in the same vein, how much did you guys learn over the last 2 years about what it takes to get through a long playoff run, both physically, mentally, like you said, kind of balancing, rehabbing, and staying healthy while also staying fresh? How much did you learn over the last couple of years?
A lot. I think as the playoff goes on, we're only focusing on the first round and first game one. That's all we focus about. But how we know it's going to be up and down emotionally. It's a roller coaster, so you want to stay impressive and don't get too high or too low. And we're focusing on game one.
Gus, you said that playing Tampa will be fun. Is that because of the rivalry that we have seen in the playoffs before and we continue to see during the regular season?
Yeah, I think we played them a bunch of times during the regular season, but even the playoffs. So, it's going to be fire first game. It's going to be everyone's going to put everything on the line, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait.
I mean, Tampa once again ranks as one of the best offenses, one of the best power plays in the league, and they have a little bit of a different look this year. I mean, what kind of challenge does that present to you guys on defense, especially without Aaron Ekblad for the first 2 games?
They obviously, as everyone knows, they have a super dangerous power play, and we want to stay out of the box as much as possible. But I think we're pretty confident in our PK. Everyone works really hard, but for sure they got some skill up front, some really skilled forwards that we wanna take away time from and space out there. So. We want to play a hard gap game, so we're not going to change now.
Gus, I know you guys are still waiting for his status to become official, but the fact that Matthew Tkachuk is close to getting back, what does that mean for you guys in the room, on the ice, just knowing that he's close, especially after not having him for the last couple months?
Yeah, he's been working hard to come back here, so hopefully we'll see him down the line. But he's a playoff guy. He's the guy you want on your team when playoffs comes around. He's a competitor, and everyone knows what he does in the playoffs.
And I wanted to ask you the challenge of playing without Aaron Ekblad for the first 2 games. Games are in Tampa. We know the firepower that they've got. What kind of challenge is that you guys have to get through till game 3?
Yeah, they're obviously really skilled, and especially in their own building, they're gonna come up flying. But so we gotta match that, and I think we've been playing without guys in our lineup a lot, so it's nothing new. But obviously, we want Eki back as soon as possible. So we're just gonna, like I said, we're used to it, so it'll be fine.
Gus, has Paul's message, I mean, I know that it changes every day, but when you look at the way he was last year versus the way he was this year, did you notice much of a change, or is it kind of same Paul?
I think he's the same Paul. I mean, he's great. He'll always find a way to look at stuff differently, and he's very curious, still learning the game, and he always brings something new, a new angle to it. So he's been great all year, and yeah, we're excited. I mean, there's always something new. You know, it's a new year and new season, so there's some new stuff. I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's good. This is the time of year you want to be prepping for and you want to be at. So, it's been a long season, and we're excited to start for real.
Sam has two questions, if I might. You guys have probably reasonably assumed for a while that you were in the playoffs, and with guys in and out of the lineup, guys hurt, different lineups, has it felt like, let's just hurry up and get this thing started? Was there any sense of that at all the last few weeks? Let's just hurry up and get to this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the year you want to be playing. This is it's easy to get up for at this time of year. I think it's been important for us. It's I think we've built over the years, and there's trust in the staff that they know how we're going to play when it comes to it. So we've been trying to use that to our advantage and get some added rest and be the best we possibly can for next week. So we're excited to get going, and should be fun.
I know hockey guys tend to look ahead, not back, but you did score the winning goal in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Do you think back to that often? Not at all? Rarely? When do you go back to that place, if at all?
It's something I'm always going to be thinking about, for the rest of my life. I think, of going through it the year before and losing, you almost knew how we were going to react the next year, wanting it that much more because we were there and that close. I think what we've learned this year, coming back after winning, is that once the puck drops, nothing really changes. You want it just as much, if not more. You want to get back there. You know the work that it takes to get back there. So, if there's any taking foot off the gas, because you've been there and because you've already won, that's kind of what we learned this year. There's none of that once the puck drops.
Took you a long time to get into the playoffs. Is this? I would think this is something that you don't take for granted, right? The excitement of gearing up for a playoff series of being in the postseason.
No, it's certainly never going to take it for granted. It's crazy. It's already year 4 here, and we're going into 4th year playoffs. So, I think there's so much I can take from certainly the guys that have been here since I got here. We've learned so much over the years. Round 1 of the playoffs is the highest energy, the highest stakes you're going to get. It's always a toss-up. I think that's what we learned. Everyone's so competitive at this stage. So it's always a battle. It's always a grind to try and get out of it. That's what we're here to do against, obviously, one of our biggest rivals that we've seen year in, year out.
Yeah, and just to build on that, just what do you remember from that first round series with Tampa last year and being able to finally get over the hump against them and just the intensity of that and now having to do it again this year?
I look at both series. They were a team that had won, been to the finals almost year in, year out for a couple of years there. I think we almost learned, when we got swept by them. I think we took into account why we got swept. You tend to learn from a team that's been there, or at least you should, right? They're there for a reason. I think it was fitting last year that we had to go through them to win. But if there's one thing that we've learned every year, it's a clean slate, especially at this time of year. It's an absolute battle as soon as round 1 starts, and really could go any direction. So we're taking it day and day at a time, and we're excited for Game 1.
You came from somewhere else to here. A lot of guys did, and While it was, whatever wasn't right in the other organizations, it's clicked here. And Paul talked about the joy of working with people here, and I'm just curious from your perspective, what has clicked here? Why is it working for this organization?
I think when I got here, I saw first training camp, you know, the overall competitiveness that guys had, and that's infectious. That you know, translates through the whole lineup. You know, makes first line guys better, makes depth guys better, it makes everyone better, and guys tend to build off that. Certainly we took on what we learned, and ultimately, like that first series against Tampa when I got here, that we talked about, you try and learn and try and adapt. You know, you just get hungrier and hungrier. You know, you got to embrace the challenges that come along the way. Guys are motivated off the ice. Guys work incredibly hard, and guys have fun doing it. So I think it's just an infectious environment to be a part of.
Sam, just 2 questions. The first is just how much is these couple days of rest in between the end of the regular season and the start of the series with Tampa, how much does that help you? And then when it comes to Tampa, you guys have played them so many times in the last couple of years in the playoffs. Players change, everything changes over the course every year to year. But how much does that like team attitude, mentality, you know, how much do things kind of stay the same regardless of who's playing for, you know, for Tampa?
I think you got to take advantage of all the rest you can at this time of year. Like I said, playoffs are a crazy time. No matter how you've been doing, you're always 4 games from being out. So I mean, you can prepare for game 1. Once you're in it, you're in it, and you're in an absolute battle trying to get out of that series on top. So all you can do is prepare for game 1 and try and be the best you possibly can be, and ultimately that'll help for the rest of the series. In terms of teams, I think you're asking the teams a different personnel. I think systematically and the core is so similar from both teams. You know, we're not strangers to each other. We know exactly how we're each going to play. Seems every game, every series is close. So, you know, we're embracing that challenge, and we're excited for that battle ahead.
Sam, just to follow up, you mentioned that you guys know each other, both teams know each other. Just how deep-seated is this rivalry? Because we hear this is a team you guys love to hate to play.
I think you see it every game we play, whether it's preseason or in Orlando, or whether it's game 1 of the playoffs. You know, we've kind of known that the other one's going to be there at the end of the year, and you know, it's kind of always we're going to have to go through each other. You know, I think there's that respect there, but like you said, we almost love to hate each other. And when you got 2 good teams that have been there, you know, a lot in the recent couple of years, you know, I think it brings out the best of both of us. So certainly won't be any love lost, that's for sure.
I just got one about a former teammate of yours, Skinner. He's going to be playing in the playoffs for the first time in his career. Just last year, when you had Kyle Poso, it had been a while since he'd been to the playoffs. What do you think that he's gonna experience in his first run through the postseason after all these years?
I mean, I think game 1 of round 1, you know, there's nothing that really compares to it. So I mean, you're going to see pretty quick, you know, the pace, the intensity. I mean, he's such a competitor. He's going to be certainly chomping at the bit to get going. It's been a long time, so you know, I can only imagine he's excited about that opportunity.
I mean, in 2022, Andrei Vasilevsky kind of put together one of the greatest series in NHL history against you guys, and kind of stole the series. I mean, what did it kind of take to learn how to solve a guy like that, and what kind of makes him so special in net?
I mean, he's been arguably the best goalie of the last, you know, however many years. So, you know, someone like that, you know, you got to make it, you know, as difficult as you can. You got to get in his eyes. You got to get in his face. you gotta attack the net really. So if he sees it, he's gonna stop it. He's one of those guys. You know, I think it goes to how they defend. They defend hard in front of him, and it's tough to score. So we're excited for that challenge.